Sex is zero risk. Sex is good. Sex is fun. Sex is zero risk.
You can go. You can go. Wait for behind.
Sex is good. Sex is fun. Sex is zero risk. Sex is good. Now. Zero. Now. Thank you very much. Say zero. My name is Nittaya Phanuphak, and I'm a doctor from Thailand. Thank you. In Thailand, more than 90% of healthcare providers have heard about U equals U, but only 70% believed in its science. Just 1/3 communicated U equals U to their clients, and only less than a quarter said zero risk. Whether or not you are a doctor, a nurse, a pharmacist, lay providers, community health workers, advocate, or a person living with HIV, I know what might have held you back from saying zero. You might be afraid of sexual pleasure being enjoyed by a person living with HIV, especially if that's sex without a condom, because you're afraid that it will then increase STIs and unintended pregnancy. But you do know that we have many better options than condoms to prevent STIs and pregnancy. You do know.
Yes.
It is therefore an informed decision to be made by a person living with HIV to choose their prevention tool of choice.
Yes.
With the launch of the WHO policy brief on the role of HIV viral suppression in improving individual health and reducing transmission, it is now time to let go of your intersectional prejudice towards the person living with HIV. It is now time to be confident in U equals U science. And it is now time to say zero clearly and firmly. Zero without tempering the message to distort the clear science. We cannot wait even for another second to bring back what HIV and society have taken away from a person living with HIV. We cannot wait because we have the tools ready for everyone to achieve the first U, the undetectability. It is our role, it is your role to bring that first U to the individual with equity. We cannot wait because not saying zero is a human rights violation. And we cannot wait because not saying zero is a violation of medical ethics. Yes. Especially in many settings where paternalistic and hierarchical medical health care are there. Trust me, by saying zero, you are returning dignity to a person to live and love with HIV. Yes. By saying zero, you are maximizing the use of the undetectability of the viral load to fulfill a person's life. And by saying zero, you are a human rights defender. Please be one of us to say zero. Thank you.
So, okay, namaste everyone. This is Rajesh Didiya from Nepal, an indigenous community, a person we call Niwa. And first of all, I would like to thank the indigenous community of this land who have organized a wonderful event here. So I bow my head to all of them. And actually, zero, it's mean a lot for a person like me. And I'm living with HIV since from 22 years, and my wife is seronegative. So the zero is one of the most hope for people like me who will have newborn babies without HIV. So this is the most exciting part of that. So that's why we will say, we want zero. So this is the most fascinating part of a brief of WHO this time. So in this land, I would like to thank everyone to accepting us as our boys, and especially to Indigenous people. You have to think about a lot, because we think in different ways. The same thing, but in different ways. So you have to make a prioritize for Indigenous people all over the world. So for that, we demand to fulfill the need of Indigenous people of this globe. Zero and now. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Doreen Moracha is my name, a young woman living with HIV, born with it for the last 30 years. I'm here and I want you all to support me in saying zero. So let's say zero together. Zero! Zero! As a young woman living with HIV, this policy brief gives me the hope that we can end stigma, that we can eliminate new HIV infections, that we are not sick, we are not dirty, we are not dying, but we want zero, and we need your support in it. So say zero with me, because we are greater than HIV. Thank you.
On your mark. We are ready to say zero. On your mark. On your mark. That's it. We are ready to say zero. On your mark. That's it. We are ready to say zero. On your mark. Gets it. We are ready to say zero. On your mark. Gets it. We are ready to say zero.
So sex is fun, sex is zero risk. This is what we're all aiming for, that the world can know a new world with HIV, but a different understanding of HIV. So going back to our plenary, according to my watch, Andrew has 5 minutes now for his presentation, right? But he can do it, he can do it. Right, so I'd like to hand back over to Professor Andrew Grulich. Thank you.
Thank you, Eamon, and I too would like to acknowledge the lands of the Yagara and Turrbal people, and I would like to acknowledge the protesters. It's entirely appropriate that we should be protesting the importance of U equals U in the beginning of a plenary on HIV elimination. So thank you for your activism.